be ruling. Disney shall rule the earth. It sucks. I know. I hate Disney so much with a passion. Because it's evil. Speak up.
And the reason being is that our society, money, like, for example, all money is based on this idea that, like, in the 1400s, one of the things that money was based on was tulips.
Because
so if I wanted
just
to
called.
get you to come and shingle my roof, I'd give you maybe 4 tulips.
I'm listening to this guy.
Flower bulbs. How crazy is that? I mean, that's just completely bonkers that you can come and say,
Logic.
oh, I'm going to shingle your roof. How much are you paying?
Logic.
2 flowers?
I hear logic.
Sure! So you're looking going, what the hell
Hear
is the
logic?
value of 3
I hear
flowers?
logic.
There is no value in 3 flowers. But back in the 1400s, people
It's
thought
the
that
Schweitzer
these
over
tulip
there.
bulbs were the in thing, and everybody wanted to have tulips in front of their house growing. And so tulips became the basis of currency. And all of a sudden, this happened pretty well overnight.
I'm magical.
And went, wait a minute. Why are we making out? Why are we using tulips?
Math.
They're
Wave.
You can't eat them. You can't get wine with them.
Just
they have no value. And the whole thing collapsed. So in Holland, the whole economy collapsed was built on tulips. So this went on for a long time, and it went on to probably up until about the early 1900s. In the early 1900s, after World War I, we said, you know what, this is crap. Everybody has their own little country, and everybody's printing money, and any country can print their own money. So if you print a ton of money in the country, and you go and say, I want to buy another product from another country. So as long as you make stuff in your own country, you don't care. You don't take anything into your country. It doesn't matter. Once you start taking another product from one country to another country, what do you pay? Who do you pay the money to? And what money do you use? So if you buy something from the United States, what money do you use? You have to have American dollars, right? So in order to get the American dollars, you either steal them or you buy them. So now the Americans are looking going, wait a minute, that Canada, that's a shady country. They're just printing tons of money. It doesn't, because everybody just print whatever they wanted. And so they're looking going, Canada, that's a shady country. They're just printing money out, hand over fist. They have nothing to back up the money. It's like the tulip bulbs. There's nothing to back it up.
No.
So the Americans wouldn't sell us money. That's not us again. This is what was happening
I'm
in
the one
the
who asked
1800s.
what it was.
So
You looking at?
when the 1900s, early 1900s came around, what they ended up doing is they said, no, we're going to base this, all monetary money is going to be based on gold. So if you have $100 in your country, you should have somewhere in the country, in a bank somewhere, $100 worth of gold. And every dollar has to have $8 worth of gold. So that's called the gold-based standard. And the United States was doing that up until the 1970s.
Okay.
In 1970, this guy came along and said, I am not a crook. And he was the biggest crook of them all. And he said, I'm going to stop this gold-based standard. We don't need it. And the problem is that today, if you look at the amount of money that's in the system, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands and hundreds of millions of billions of dollars more than what there was back in 1970. There's more money. So you would have to have that much gold sitting somewhere in the building. Well, you can't have a building that big that's hold that amount of gold. So today we don't have a gold standard. So we don't have anything in our country that says, if Canada prints $1, what's there to back up the dollar? There's nothing in our country right now to say, here's a dollar, here's a piece of gold, and you get it. So, because right now, you have a job, you put your money in the bank, right? You just spend the money, or you keep the money at home? Okay. But if you did save your money in the bank, right?
That sucks.
And you assume that you can go and get your money out of the bank, right? So now the bank takes your money, and they're supposed to pay you interest. Now they don't. They pay you 0.4%, which now you can calculate 0.4% interest. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now if you look at the credit card interest rate, which is 18%. 19 is, okay, I think
What is Schmiegel over there doing?
So the bank is paying you less than 0% interest, which means you'll never make any money.
Sweet.
They're charging you 18% interest or 19% interest. And so if you go to the bank and say, I want all my money back, but now she goes to the bank and says she wants her money back, Kayla goes to the bank, if everybody goes into the bank and says they want their money back,
I went to the bank.
you expect them to give you your money, right? But they don't have the money. They're only required to keep 10% of the money physically in a bank. So there is absolutely nothing to have a bank to stop a bank from saying, we just don't have your money. You put your money in our bank, and you trust us to keep that money, but we just don't have it. Because if everybody went and got money at the bank, so in 1930, when the stock market collapsed, which means nothing, who cares? We don't care. Meant nothing to poor people, because poor people didn't have money in stocks. Rich people have money in stocks. Poor people did not. Well, what happened was everybody got nervous and said, wait a minute, if the stock market crashed, our dollars aren't really worth anything anymore. So they went to the bank to get their money out. The banks didn't have the money.
Interest.
They're like, well, we just don't have it. Because the banks make money off your money by lending it to other things, like businesses and corporations and other things.
You think that's
So they lend out
interesting?
all your money except for 10%
He
of
looks
it
like Hitler.
to other people. So the whole thing is based on this idea that
Just by that
we believe
shadow.
that money has an inherent value. Once that comes
No,
to the
you
point
know
where
what real estate.
money doesn't have an inherent value, the whole thing collapses. So all of these people that are, you know, they have 3 credit cards, and that's my point. The people that have 3 credit card debts, they have a mortgage, and right now they're paying all this money to a bank, right? So if tomorrow, and this guy thinks, the guy that did the YouTube clips, and he's very...
You know Disney is evil.
The guy's
Those
good.
mind
I'll
control
get the name
things.
for you. If tomorrow, and this thing is going to collapse, it's done it true. If you look at money, the whole thing with money, it goes up, gets to a point at the top, and it basically comes back down to the same level it was before.
Why did you dedicate a treat to who?
If that happens, the people that have
Why?
their 3 credit card debts, plus a mortgage,
Why?
plus a car debt, and they have all this stuff,
Recording what?
they're going to lose everything.
Genius. My pure
Because
genius.
they're not going to be able to pay,
I'm gonna make
because the
money
money
on
is
this
not going to be
video.
worth anything then. So, to go buy a
I'm
loaf
gonna
of
get
bread,
10,000 views.
it used to cost $2.
No,
In
not 3.
10 years' time, it might cost $15, but
10
you're still
views.
making the money that you were making
Times
before.
1,000.
And you still have to make the payment to the bank. So the whole thing, like these
You
people that
will.
have these huge debts,
Like this video.
I don't know how the hell they're going to
You
get out of
will
it.
like this video.
So the big thing is that people that this guy and other people say is you should have at least, now I don't have this, I do not have, you should have in your bank account 3 months of savings that you could live off for 3 months without working.
Don't do that.
I've none.
Don't
I'm
do
going to tell you
that.
right now. The first thing you should pay off is your credit card debts. A lot of people they freak out when they're in grade 12 because they're going, oh my God, I'm going to university, and
Camera doesn't
university's
like
going
the
to cost
finger.
a lot of money. That's the one
You don't
debt
like the camera.
that doesn't mean crap to anybody. Doesn't matter if you owe $60,000 for your
Wait a
education,
minute.
makes no
I
difference
see you.
whatsoever. That is the last one
suck.
you should ever pay off, by the way. Because you have to pay that loan back, and you will.
Yeah.
But the difference is, on an educational loan in
Wait.
Canada, you don't pay interest on it. So yes, you have to pay it back, and you will pay interest, but you get the interest back in your income tax. Assuming you work even a little bit, you get all of that money
It's
back.
not working.
Whereas you do not,
Give
if you
the
pay
finger.
interest on a credit card, you never get the interest back on the credit card.
Give
You
the
owe that
finger.
thing.
So
But a
the
student
fish.
loan is the only thing in Canada where your
suck.
interest, you can claim it on your tax return. So
This
that's
is
why I
way
tell people, when people say, well, you know, university education is expensive. It's really not. When you are going to university, you can claim your tuition on your
Wait,
income
I
tax.
got an
So your
idea.
parents can claim the tuition, which is almost dollar
It's
for
gonna be
dollar.
awesome. It's gonna be
It is
genius.
the best deal. I'm not saying it is
Can't wait.
expensive because you have to come up
It's
with
going
the
to be
$60,000
genius.
that they want you to pay.
Firefox
But
is amazing.
of the $60,000, it's probably going to cost you
What?
$20,000 if you take it
amazing.
over the long
Watch.
run and say, how much do I get back in income tax? I'm not going to pay interest on it. And it also brings you down to the lower tax bracket when you start making a lot of money, because you have to do it. So
It's awesome.
the whole thing is a win-win. And that's the only debt that really I tell people, that's one don't worry about.
Schmingle.
Putting $60,000 in credit.
Best picture ever.
Okay, so how many people do we got today? Just seeing. Just never know. Like I said, this is like a lost episode of Lost. 1 minute they're here, the next they're gone. Big smoke monster comes and eats people, apparently. We gotta make a...
What the hell are you doing? Big monster that eats people?